Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hanging High podcast, where we get together at the end of every week and we talk about the things that interest us, sometimes current events, and whether or not we want to deal with Boodle for the next hour. My name is Han, I am sexy, and I apologize for not being at the last episode, but I was out living my life and having fun. So, sue me. Who do I have with me today?
My name is Big Sexy, aka Boodle. And who else do we have with us?
Dude, it's your friendly neighborhood mother lover. And
There it is.
so we're going to get into some deep shit tonight.
Are we?
Mhm.
It's gonna be all about me.
Maybe I'm not. I don't know. So I had a pretty good week. I mean, it was a wholesome week, and I really needed it.
And I want you guys to take the reins for a little while, like talk about yourselves, and then I'll get into like my stuff because I have a lot to discuss with you guys. Okay, does that sound good?
You got it.
All right, and Spotify listeners, I'm sorry if I'm like all like silly and goofy. Boodle is sucking on a popsicle right now, and it's very silly. Anyway, so why don't you guys start off? We'll start with Jacob because I like him more. Jacob, how is go into detail. What have you been doing lately?
So basically, at work, I had an incident where a guy was like really like sweet, right? And he was like really thoughtful, and he wrote me a card. So I sold this guy like 2 weeks ago. He wrote me a card, and like basically hand delivered it to my desk like early this morning, and was like, dude. And I read the letter, and I fucking left it at work,
Aww.
but because I have it like hanging up on my office wall, right? But basically, it told like the note says that basically that whenever he came in and bought the car, he was going through a lot, and he was like, I appreciated our talks because we kind of had a deep conversation. Like the dude was like borderline depressed and going through a midlife crisis because his wife had passed away,
Aww.
right? And he was very emotional, and we talked. Like I found out that he really likes like computers and stuff, and we literally talked about computers and stuff like the whole time, and kind of empathized with him a lot, and it's just like we kind of connected. Like I was supposed to do that. Like if you believe in fate,
Yeah.
I was there to do that. Talk to that man, and he needed to hear it from me. And it was it was a very wholesome moment, and he if I think about it on Monday, because I was going through a lot today, I'll take a picture of it and I will send it to like the podcast, like maybe put it on Twitter or something. But
Yeah.
it was very kind, and basically he had included a check for $100,
Were
and
you
I
allowed to
cashed that
keep it?
motherfucker.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no. So in the car business, you can actually take tips. So
Yeah, but I meant like
it-
at that high of a value.
Yeah, no, dude. A salesperson that I work with actually got tipped $1,000 one time for delivering a car to fucking, I think it was South Carolina or Georgia or something like that.
Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah, and she got $1,000 tip.
Dude, that probably barely covered the gas. Icy! Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, it actually covered the gas because I mean, newer vehicles nowadays, they're actually like way more like fuel efficient, right? Than what they were in like the 2000s and stuff like that. So we saw a car that gets like 30 miles to the gallon, has like an 18-gallon tank, right? And that's a little over 500 miles per tank. So it's just one of those things where it's like kind of cool, but at the same time, you don't get those often. Like way off, like that is like a blue moon type thing for a car sale.
Still, that's always
But
nice.
I mean, hey, I guess if you make a big impact on somebody, and
Dude,
like,
yeah.
oh man, that's fucking awesome or something, this deserved.
Yeah.
That's
I know
good.
I'm boring.
No,
I'm sorry,
no,
Hannah.
that's
No,
no,
it's your
it's just
time to
icy.
talk. It's
No,
fun letting you talk.
it's not you. I swear.
I didn't.
Spotify
I'm trying
listeners,
not to.
my dog is just being a fucking dick right now, so I'm a little distracted.
I'm trying not to like interrupt people when they're like in their top, in their this was my week type thing.
Yeah.
But
But other than that, like it was just I connected with a bunch of my coworkers, over the week. Our dealership just remodeled and has got like a brand new state of the art dealership that come Monday morning, that's where I'm going to be working for the next however long I'm in the business.
hell yeah.
Next 50 years.
So I'll be honest, like it's not that I hate the idea of working for 50, like working as a car salesman for 50 years. It's the fact that I really hope I'm not working in 50 years.
Yeah. Well, you're 20 something now. You'll be in your 70s.
25. Yeah. Well, I'd be in my let's see, in 40 years. I'd be 65.
5 plus 2
Yeah.
is 77. So I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like honestly, I started like my retirement stuff like a lot, like way earlier. Like whenever I was 18, I set up my first like Roth IRA, right? And basically it takes $100 out every week, right? And then it compounds interest over the years. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Acorns.
No.
Okay. So Acorns is a Roth IRA, right? So you can do that, and basically the money that you get, like you're paying taxes like on the money or with your interest basically. But as soon as you withdraw it, you do have some tax implications, right?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but I mean that's one of the things that whenever shit, I just blanked. I don't know. That's weird, but yeah, the Roth IRAs they're very helpful. I started mine whenever I was 18, and it so far I've like saved up like I think it was like right at $10,000 or something like that over 5 years. Or damn, it's been like wow, holy shit, it's been 8 years. Or, like almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Dude, I can't handle that, dude.
Dude, I'm struggling right now. This is fucking crazy.
8 years
But,
since you graduated high school.
I don't. I'm gonna go crazy.
Well, you already are crazy. Crazy awesome. I'm nice to you and you're silent.
Thank you.
I really hope we get big, so that way, like, when we go to our, like, whenever I say big, like, I mean, like, we get popular, like with our podcast. Whenever we go to fucking class reunions, dude.
You're right.
If we go to class
Alright,
reunions.
not to burst your bubble, but we're gonna be like this forever.
I was about to say, I don't know about you, Jacob, but I don't know if I'd want to go.
But I'm just saying.
I
To
would
answer you
love-
both. So I'll answer Hannah first because they were like, we're going to fucking not sorry to burst your bubble, but we're not getting there. First off, anything is possible if you believe. Right?
Alright, well I don't believe.
Well, I believe so.
Actually, we have 16 YouTube subscribers last time I
oh my
checked.
god, dude!
And
That's
before that,
badass.
we had
We love
like
every single one of them.
13. So thank you for following us on the YouTube.com.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
for
right.
being home.
We love every single fucking one of you guys.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
2 of you that are actually real.
I-
The rest are
like,
bot accounts.
Y'all fool me.
I need
Y'all fool me.
I need to make more content that's like shorter for the channel. That way we get more like non-specific to the podcast people. Which I like the podcast people, but we need more audience, dude. You know?
Fair.
Anyways, but other than that, like I don't know how we got all the like Roth IRAs, but
Yeah, how did we get onto this fucking topic?
I don't know.
Oh,
what the
because I remember because you were like new store remodel. I'll be working here till however long I work here, and I said 50 years, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, going back to the main storyline,
Stop.
like as far as the dealership goes, like so me and all my coworkers, we moved a bunch of cars up to the dealership today, which is Saturday, June the 3rd. Which, you know, at the time we're uploading this is the, you know, the next Tuesday, which I believe is like the 6th, I think. But yeah, so, you know, that night we literally was like, oh yeah, you know, 6:30 came around, we got all the cars moved up to the dealership, the new dealership. And so my boss was like, dude, we appreciate your help, because we were expecting that we were going to have to work until like tomorrow, right? And I was like, dude, I really don't want to fucking work on a Sunday. Like, that shit would suck. And so I was trying to like recruit a bunch of like coworkers to like stay over if we had to, right? So we could get the shit done and then just have our day, you know, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we got it done actually really early.
Oh,
we got
shit.
it done at 6:30.
Damn.
And got all of our shit moved up to our desks and got all the cars moved up, lined up, you name it. Really, you know, we got it very organized, right?
Dude, hell yeah.
And everybody, I couldn't find a bunch of people when I was like, okay, these guys, they went home, right? Dude, so somehow I didn't get the invite, but they were in there fucking drinking beer.
Dude, maybe they didn't want you there, bro.
No, well, so my boss made the joke of that. Actually, it made me feel really bad. I just like turned around and like walked away.
Oh, no!
But he was like, "Dude, no, come in."
He's like, "Bro, I was kidding. Okay, grow a pair of thick skin."
Yeah.
What are you trying to do over here, Emma?
I'm comfortable.
But anyway, shit, I don't know where I was going. That was kind of random. But oh yeah. So boss, yeah. So I go in there and like they're having beer, and I'm like, there's I think 5 of my coworkers in there, and he's like, oh, sorry, you can't, you know, you can't come in. Like, this isn't for you. I'm like, oh shit. And so I turn around, and he's like, no, come on in, get your ass in here, and so. Yeah, and so we crack open beers, man, and we share it with I share it with my coworkers, and the more people started coming to the office, you know, and it was a good time. There was a lot of energy that I never would have imagined coming from that boss, like unknown energy, and it was a great time. And so we got done. That happened at like 6:45, right?
Okay.
And I stayed up until like 8:30 tonight.
Yeah.
Just sitting there talking with my coworkers, drinking beer, and just having a good time, right?
Dude, hell yeah.
I mean, by that point, you know, we were already closed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, moving into a new dealership, you don't have internet. There's not really anything you can do, right?
Right.
So that's what happened.
I'm good. I'm glad you are having a good week. It was very important to me that you had a good week.
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean, what?
I mean, like, well,
Is that it?
I'm just genuinely like, I just want to know.
We value.
Wow. Sorry,
we
Jacob.
we like when you have a good time. We
Oh,
like when
Yeah,
you're
you're the podcast sweetie pie.
Yeah.
Dude, that is some loud ass fucking thunder. Holy shit.
Are you sure it was thunder? He just farted and he's trying to play it off as thunder.
I heard probably what you heard.
Yeah, that was
Stop.
very loud.
Don't validate his delusions.
Dude, who's the schizo now? That's all I'm gonna
What?
But,
say. What?
What?
Don't know.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Trying
No,
to drink my
move my
milk on
under
peace
it.
here.
You drinking milk for you damn.
What are you, a white supremacist?
Yeah.
What?
White supremacist ass.
That was an argument back in like 2017 that white supremacists only like drink milk and like they specialize like anybody who drank milk was a white supremacist. That was
I
like,
was
It's
around
funny.
that, like, what?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before, and I've
You've
been on the
never heard
internet
of
for
that?
a long time.
That's crazy. That like
I'm-
that was big. That was big. But then again, that was I don't know. That was back in 2017 whenever times were like really weird. So
Things were edgy.
yeah. I often look back to like my like high school days and was like, dude, I was so fucking cringy, so edgy. And I was just like, dude.
Would like you now
take-
be friends with you then?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. And I mean it's kind of bad saying that. Like I would think that I wouldn't be friends with him, right? But he would probably want to be friends with me.
Okay.
Right. But at the same time, I don't know. That's kind of fucking deep though. Whenever you think about it, because like, would you want to be friend? Like, I think the whole point of having friendships is like helping someone build as a person, right? Kind of like relationships.
Buddha, we're doing it wrong.
I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Like that's like one thing that I value about my friends is like I always want to give them the best advice I can give them, and hope that they can use that to gain success.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of deep because if he saw me as a friend, eventually I would be like, what, I wonder why he thinks of me as a friend.
Because you're sexy.
And then I realize, hey, this is younger me, and then I try and teach him. That's kind of fucking deep.
Yeah, but if you teach younger you something,
It won't be you at
what?
that point, because listen. If you teach younger version of yourself, then he becomes
Someone
what
else.
you are at your current point.
No,
so
no.
like he.
I don't. Here's the thing.
Is that a paradox, dude? Did we
Yes.
just think about a paradox?
So here's the thing. Like, I don't see it as that guy becoming that guy. I see it as you go back, you talk to your younger self, and you like teach it all the things you know now so it can better itself, then it betters itself, and then technically you, as you were, don't exist because you never learned from those mistakes. You were just given the answers and followed the way I
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Wow, that was trippy.
I'm telling you, dude, it's a paradox. That is a paradox.
Paradox your mom. Her address is blah 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 blah.
You can't say that, dude.
I wasn't lying whenever I say that we're going to get into shit like deep shit.
I don't
Like,
know how-
I'm still thinking about this.
How did that
This is
happen?
crazy.
Dude.
But anyways, let's go on to somebody else's week. Let's go to somebody else's week.
Okay, Boodle babe, it's you now.
Okay, my week was pretty crazy.
What happened?
Guess what?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Guess what?
What?
I worked and played Zelda still because I still am playing it.
Shocker. The same thing he's been doing for like a long time now.
Other than that though, did I bring this up last podcast, Jacob? Did I talk about how that book I just finished reading is getting the movie?
No,
Yep.
no, that was.
Oh no, that was in voice chat.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was a voice chat.
Sometimes I forget
So-
that we're doing a podcast and that we're not just chilling and hanging out.
Listen, so you guys remember I did the episode on me talking about the
Yeah.
books I read, right?
It's fun. I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, a standalone book in that universe is getting a movie adaptation.
Oh
No way.
Yes, way. The guy who's directing it directed Deadpool.
Maybe he's like,
Okay.
I don't know.
I think so.
That's pretty cool.
But it's cool because it's a standalone book, so you don't need to know anything about the original 3 books to get into it. It's like
Okay.
a revenge story type book. So
Cool.
it's all it's about. They got a list of people they got to kill, and she's going to kill them all. That's all you got to know.
All right.
And the
Does she do
person
it?
they picked as the main character, she looks exactly like I thought she would. So, pretty good. That book was good, and it's kind of funny how I just finished it and then they announced that. I think that's really cool.
Oh shit.
So now I can, and then I'll be like, huh, this was different. This is different. I could be one of those people.
Guys, sorry to interrupt this conversation about your book, but I just saw a tweet on my timeline and it says that The Witcher Season 3 Volume 1 is coming on June 29th. Mind you, Volume 1, are they fucking doing The Witcher in parts now? That's really annoying.
We're gonna get this, dude, and it's gonna suck because we're gonna get it with Stranger Things.
Yep.
The last season of Stranger Things 2, and that's gonna piss me off.
I think this is the last season with Henry Cavill. What the hell? Sorry, I'm still on about The Witcher.
Oh, I'll have to go into this after you go through your week, Hannah. So one of my shows that I've been watching, his last episode was this week, last ever episode, and that was Ted Lasso. Very good show. But anyways, whoever is talking, go ahead.
Okay. What else happened in my week? I gotta remember. I mean, other than that, D&D was fun. It was kind of a meh session. I don't think we really need to go into it.
Well, we kind of gotta go into it. We'll go in. Well, the biggest thing is that my character died.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it last session, and I wasn't going to try and like give away too much, like on the stream. But my character, me as a playable character, died.
That's crazy.
So I had to make a new character, and I fucking did something kind of crazy. I went with a Shandian, right?
Dude, yeah, you did.
Which in One Piece is like basically like the angel version of a Native American, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, the crew met my character this week, and then we did bunch training, and I was like kind of. So okay, so what I'm about to say is going to be taken out of context. So hard.
I'm ready.
I said this last night, and Hannah freaked out. I think a little bit. But my character was racist last night.
Yeah.
No.
Because hold on, it's for good reason. So basically, it's racism towards the oppressor.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Which was kind of funny because everybody was like, "Dude, that was like really racist," and I was like, "But they took my land."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happened in the One Piece like show as well, and it's really funny because like Hunter always jokes, Boodle always jokes about fucking me making like One Piece references, and I was like, dude, I felt proud of my reference on that. Like, dude, I remember that.
I was so proud, dude. You was like fully in character, dude. You're like, dude, fuck these guys. They took my land. Fuck them.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, you went full into it, dude. I was proud of you.
So, but yeah, it was a good. I enjoyed the session, but I can't wait till we do combat.
Dude, I finally advanced my devil fruit, and I got a cool thing that I can't really like spoil. But it's gonna be cool. I just gotta figure out some things with it, and then yeah.
But anyways, okay, Hannah.
Yeah.
It's your time.
Oh, that's all. That's all you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it was like literally all that happened in the campaign.
Okay.
It was a kind of a segment.
Okay, so before I forget to cover on it, it's pretty shitty. Yeah. So we paid for art, right?
Yeah.
We all paid for art, and basically the guy's a scammer. So
what happened?
Yeah. So Noah was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna get a artist I'm going to commission an artist to, get something like some art for the crew." Yeah. And we were like, okay, cool. And so he's like, if we do like $44 each, that'll cover what they're wanting to charge. And we're like, okay. So that happened on, I think, what it was like 2 Fridays ago.
I think so.
Or was it last Friday?
What specifically? I don't remember.
Like the artist. Like whenever.
Yeah, it was
like
initially 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks ago, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, so 2 weeks ago, Friday. And so we get a notification like I think Monday this week from the artist saying, "Hey, FYI, drawing's about done." Right, and so turns out gets done, and he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, the other half of the payment didn't go through." And Noah's like, "Oh, well, shit. I guess I'm gonna have to contact PayPal and go through that process because that's who his bank was, or I guess his like preferred payment or whatever."
Yeah, that's what the payment was doing.
Through Fiverr, of course, and so turns out the guy was fucking scamming us.
That sucks.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because it could just possibly be that he got fucked over by somebody else, but I don't know. That whole interaction that he was posting was so weird that it makes me think that he kind of was like messing with us. I don't know. It's just kind of fucked up because, I mean, from what Noah was saying, the payment went through on his end too. So it's like,
Yeah.
where's the art? I paid for it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that
I don't
sucks.
know.
That I would fucking hate that to happen.
Yeah. But anyway, are you ready, Hannah?
So, guys, first off, I want to start off with saying, Jacob, you still haven't given me your $50.
Huh?
Yeah. The Pride
Or-
Month Ally membership fee.
Is that like a real thing?
Yes. You have to give every June. You have to give a queer person in your life $50 so you can maintain your membership ally status.
I got you whenever you're down here. I can't do it right now.
Rain check.
Rain
Alright.
check.
I'm running an IOU. Okay. So I'll let it pass because you're you. Boodle, you have one more day.
No, well, I guess I'm not an ally to you.
I'm just gonna pretend you aren't homophobic.
I'm not. I
Alright.
swear.
So, guys, I just want to start off by saying I'm sorry I wasn't in the podcast last week and you got stuck with nerd talk.
Dude, okay. That's it.
Okay, I hated that guy anyway.
I'm
So,
gonna tell him. Hannah said they
Jacob,
hated
I missed you so much.
No, you didn't. You said you hated Jacob.
Don't listen to him, he's lying.
We had a good podcast.
It was
did.
nice knowing you
We
guys.
had a good podcast.
I haven't watched it in full. I got 20 minutes into it and then I just started like skimming through because I wasn't necessarily engaged with the discussion because it's not something that relates to me. I enjoyed the effort that you took to put into editing it so it can be uploaded several days late, and I liked the little jokes that you did and it was really good. I liked it. It was a good edit.
Thank you.
But hopefully it never has to be like that again and I can be here very often. So what I was doing last podcast, did you let them know why, or do you just like this bitch here?
No, we put it in the
you
BTS.
told me not to say nothing.
No, not that. But like just because I was on vacation.
I just said, Hannah's not here. We'll get into that next time or whatever. That's what I said.
Well, I think we did mention like something about you being in DC.
Yeah, but I was in Washington, D.C. I was on vacation because it was Memorial Day weekend, and we figured we had a nice 3-day weekend coming up. Let's go see the nation's capital.
Mhm.
So we ended up going to Washington, D.C., and it was really fun. I made a whole vlog about it, so if you go to my YouTube channel, the link tree is in the description of the video, so go in there, subscribe. But I post a little vlog, so if you want to go there, check it out. You'll see the awesome thing that we're going to be talking about later today. But going there was alright. We went on a train, so it took us 8 hours to get there and 8 hours or so to get back. So I was really dreading going on the train up there because that's just like an insanely long ride, and just being trapped in one little area for that long, just like, I don't know, it just sounds boring to me. But so
Yeah.
the train was at like 6 o'clock in the morning, so I had to wake up for like 4:30 so I can get up, shower, and make sure I had everything I needed to get done before we left. Just so there were no issues. So woke up early, hated it. So I don't even know what time Michael woke up, because by the time I woke up, he was already in the shower. So I'm going, man, what time did you wake up, Mike? I woke up at 4:30, so probably been like 3 or 30 or 4.
34.
Not that early, so just like half an hour. All right. That's been Michael the Hang High podcast. But so then we made it our way to the train station, and that's when like all the lights started coming in from the clouds, and it was very beautiful, very quiet. It was peaceful driving down the road and seeing nobody there. So we got there. We decided we were gonna not get coffee in the way. We'll just go to the little. You've been to the train station. So
I remember that.
we go to the train station, and they had that little convenience store inside of it.
Yeah.
I got one of those Mountain Dew Kickstarts because I didn't want to get like an actual energy drink, just because I didn't want to feel like awful and tired by the time I got off the 8-hour train ride and got into DC. So I got one of those, and Mike just got one of those pre-glassed Starbucks drinks that you get at like the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like Frappuccino or cappuccinos.
Yeah, he would get I think he got a mocha. He likes the mochas there.
Yeah, I like the mocha ones
But-
too.
The Frappuccinos are like the best. I love
Those
those.
are delicious. So,
Yeah.
8 hours. So on the way in, it didn't feel like it was like a long ride at all. That's mostly because I kept like falling asleep and waking up and like falling asleep because it was so early. So that really like kind of set the vibe off by the time we got to go home. Because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be nothing. 8 hours is gonna fly by, but I was not tired. So I was up the entire time, and it was really, I was like, oh my god, when's it gonna be her stop? But that happened. It was really fun. So while we were there, we saw all the sights. We saw Lincoln Memorial. We saw the Washington Memorial. We saw the memorials for the Vietnam War, and then the Korean War, and then what was it? The Vietnam War. Oh, and the first 2 world wars.
Yeah.
And it was Washington DC's a beautiful city. It was like amazing. Like the entire time I was there, I just couldn't like help but appreciate what it was now and just like the history behind everything. So it was like an intense emotional reaction, like when we got to the Lincoln Memorial, because the I Had a Dream speech and MLK happened there too. So you're standing here and you're like, well, here's like this giant fucking, was it like marble or whatever, stone, like statue of the guy who like abolished slavery, legally speaking.
Abolish slavery?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. That's
Lincoln. That was Lincoln.
Oh, you're talking about the MLK one.
No, because 2 things happened there. You're at the memorial, giant carved out stone, marble, whatever, of a man who did that, and then at the same spot, a man who just demanded equal rights and like civility between the world.
You know what? So, you know what I feel bad for? Is that, you have now experienced Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I have experienced Washington, D.C.
Oh, shit.
But
Boodle hasn't. Boodle has not. 2/3 of this podcast have been to Washington, D.C.
Dude, Boodle, you know what?
Yeah.
We need to plan something. Me and you, just like me, you, maybe Hannah, if Hannah can make it. Yeah. Dude, we should do a Hanging High goes to podcast. Goes to Washington, D.C. The Hanging High podcast goes to Washington,
If
D.C.
we ever get to do that, just make sure we have a lot of fucking money, because it is expensive to stay in a hotel in Washington, D.C.
I remember that field trip costed like $2,000, I think. Or not? No.
Now
We got
that's
a
an
grant.
insane amount of money.
No, we got a grant from like the state of North Carolina. Like basically, all we had to pay was like I think like total for the whole entire class. All we had to pay was like $5,000 for the entire class,
Mm.
which that was still a good amount because I mean you think
Yeah.
about middle school. You have 2 8th grade classes, and three eighth. Yeah, well shit, that is kind of expensive actually.
I have 4 in my
that's
school.
close. But anyways, so that was one of the really cool trips that we got to go on, and I hate that you didn't get to experience it because I'll be honest, whenever you go into some of those places, you just get like goosebumps because you get sucked into like, hey, you know what? This is like our history,
Mhm.
Let me tell you. So after we went there, the next day we ended up going to the National Archives. There was so much to do, but there was like so little time because we were only there for 2 days. Like we were actually only there for 1 full day. So
Yeah.
on Saturday we went in and we explored all the memorials that we could that were outside, like the outdoor memorials. We saw the MLK Memorial, we saw all of that. So, and then the next following day is when we actually were able to go into places and look at things. I don't know if I talked about it on the last episode that I was on, but the thing I was absolutely the most excited for was going to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History and going to like inside the butterfly pavilion and like interacting physically with the butterflies.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I got to experience that, unfortunately. But
so neither did I.
That museum is awesome.
I didn't get to experience that either because the butterfly pavilion was sold out by the time we got there. And that was the first thing we did. We got there like probably like 20 minutes after it opened.
Yeah.
I was,
like I don't even think that was a thing whenever I went because you got to remember we went like in 2000 like what was it? You remember Boodle? You remember whenever that happened? When did you break your leg or your ankle?
I don't even remember.
Was it like 2009, 2008?
he's trying not to
maybe?
relive horrible memories, Jacob.
It was like, I want to say it was like 2011 or 2012.
No, 2012 was freshman. So yeah, it probably was 2011. Never mind, it was 2011.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was very tragic, and
Yeah.
we gotta experience it because, like I said, like I always grew up like the biggest history nerd like ever. Like especially like major events like World War II and stuff like that. And so a big thing for me is like my grandpa on my mom's side actually like served in Vietnam, and he died like in an off military base or off country base, military base.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. In like a drunk driving accident, and so he is not on the wall, but going to Vietnam is what caused him to start drinking, and it's really sad. But whenever I got to the Vietnam Memorial, like
It was emotional.
the big old wall, it was really emotional just because like here these are, and I mean it's always the same thing. It sucks that young people have to put their life on the line to appease their governments and stuff.
Yeah.
We never should have been in Vietnam, but at the same time, it was just one of those things where it's just like, where would we be if it weren't for that?
It's
I mean,
really hard to experience and be in a place like that and experience that history when you know for a fact that it wasn't actually that long ago and that
Right.
people like that are still alive. Like when MLK did his I Had a Dream speech, my grandma was like 11 or 12 years old. When he was assassinated, my grandma was 17 years old. So my grandma was alive then and experienced the civil rights movement and experienced all of this stuff that we deem historical and think is so long ago. My grandma's 71 years old. That wasn't that long ago. It's like scary to think about because sadly not a lot has changed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, so we went to the butterfly, like, we went to the Smithsonian Museum. We wanted to see the butterflies. We couldn't. We saw a lot of other, like, really beautiful, like, pieces of natural history there, like the beginning of the human civilization and the Hope Diamond, and like just all the beautiful minerals and diamonds and like pieces of quartz and everything that they have there. So that was really fun. But the thing, like, what was I saying?
Natural History Museum.
Oh,
Dude,
so-
did you go to the Museum of Nautical, or not nautical? Is it aeronautics? I guess.
the plane? No, we didn't end up
Yes.
going there.
Oh man, you should have went there. That
There was just
like
a lot to
my
do, and
favorite.
we needed to get it done before everyone closed, because I think all the places closed around like 4 or 5 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just trying to
Yeah.
get as much done as possible. So we ended up, after that didn't happen, we ended up going to the National Archives. And they are really strict there. Like, can't pull out your phone. Like, can't even take it out. No pictures, no videos. So, I mean, that's where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, they're all there. And they're like, can't take a picture of this. We're trying to preserve hundreds of years of paper. You know what I mean?
Well, it's really funny because flash photography, like on certain pieces of paper, actually degrade it.
Yeah.
So, it's a very big thing, and I understand it. You know why it's like that.
So, but like, just going back to like just all that stuff not happening too long ago, like I'm sitting in the National Archives, like watching videos and reading like official like documents from those time periods, just like women's rights and like women's suffrage and the civil rights movement. And then there's like this little interactive kind of table where you can like flip through different like Supreme Court cases and everything. And then you're like Roe v. Wade, because they talked about that. And there was like a little edit on the bottom saying like, edit, in 2023 the Supreme Court overturned it because the Constitution doesn't specifically say that the citizens have a right to privacy. And just like seeing the civil rights stuff and like seeing the talks about like everything that's happened back then, it's just like, it's a very emotional feeling. Like I cried a couple times when I was in there, just thinking about like where we were as a civilization, and then like the progress we have made, but like we're sort of regressing back into that.
Yeah. I feel it.
Well, I'll say this: like a lot of my biggest thing is like and like I said, this may be me being like too naive, and I think I've brushed on this kind of briefly, but like for me, the best I can do, and this is like the only thing that I can do as a human being, and that is treat everybody nicely, regardless of I mean, there might be some things I disagree with, like racist people. I have a hard time like liking racist people, but I mean, there's sometimes like you'll have one who has their moments where it's like, you know what, like if you weren't a racist piece of shit, like I would like you, but unfortunately, for how I am, like I said, I will just try and understand them a little bit more and more, and just kind of like go into their mindset and just be like, hey, what's causing me to think this way, or something like that.
Okay.
Like why is this? Because see, for me, like I just want people to love each other, because that's like a big thing for me. Like respect your fellow person.
Yeah.
And just be true to yourself and everything. But you have asshole people who just fuck everything up.
True.
It's sad.
It is sad, but like I said, I'm telling you, it's naivety. But
So
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm high. Dude, okay, so but Hannah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but what happened
What happened?
What happened
Yeah.
while you're down? Why you're in Washington D.C.?
So list goes all the way back to the first day I was there. So after we saw the Lincoln Memorial, we ended up going down and just walking around and seeing what else they had, and then we stumbled past the MLK Memorial. So that's another thing. Like, how do they fucking do that with the statues? They just, like, it's a statue of him in this big rock, and it was very nice. But there's also, like, usually the cherry blossoms there, but unfortunately at that time we had been there, they'd already bloomed and gone. But there's, like, this Japanese-inspired garden that they had there, and so we were at this, like, area where there's just, like, other little cool statues that look kind of like a birdhouse almost. And then we were just walking around and holding hands and holding each other nice and close. And then a group of, like, these 3 kids and their mothers came by and kind of ruined the moment. Like, we were having a nice, cute, romantic moment. They were just sort of being annoying and running around.
Yeah.
Fucking
They being
kids, man.
nosy.
Yeah, like, so that ruined the moment. But then we were walking towards back where we had come from, and there was these beautiful trees and grass and just, like, smelled like fresh flowers, and, like, we were by a lake, so it's like that kind of, like, musky scent of the lake mixing in with the flowers. It was just like the perfect moment.
Yeah.
And something happened. So I saw this tree that had, like, you know the trees that have, like, the holes in them, and they usually like a what are they called, like a chipmunk or a squirrel will live in there or something. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, wouldn't it suck if something jumped out at me? So then I looked a bit closer, and then, like, as I put my face towards the hole, like 4 ants came out. And they were, like, carrying stuff. It was kind of cool. But then I turn around, and guess what I see behind me?
Dude,
What?
Guess.
I
You
guess
see-
I already know.
I already know too.
Go
so
on.
I-
Lead into the story. And I'll
So,
be like,
let-
yes.
I'm gonna guess maybe Mr. Handsome Man.
There was a Mr. Handsome Man behind me.
Mhm.
Guess what he was doing, guys?
I don't know. Show me your left hand.
Oh, he was all like,
There it
girl,
is.
do you want to marry me and be my love forever? And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah. Isn't that what happened, Michael? Isn't that what happened? The story of our love? Yeah. So, and then he's like, oh, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And now I'm getting married.
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
yes.
As mentioned earlier, I made a vlog about it, and if you want to see that moment, Mr. Handsome Man was being sneaky and put his phone in a tree to record it. So, that's in my YouTube video.
Well, there you go.
And we kissed,
kinda
and we
crazy.
held each other, and it was very nice. And that was on
Yeah.
night 1. So,
Goals.
8 hours of
Yeah.
train ride, ending in marriage.
There you go.
So,
Oh yeah.
what I thought we would do is, on the podcast, after, when it comes to my turn, at the end, I give a little planning the wedding update. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that way,
would be cool.
after I do it, I can go back and then, like, clip all the times I was talking about upcoming to the wedding, and then, like, make something for our, like, anniversary when they were like, oh, this is blah 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 blah, this is the thing, and this is where we are now.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
So,
Be really cool.
so the first official planning the wedding update, jingle pending.
Dude.
We
I
have been looking. I mean, I guess I've been looking at places to actually have the damn wedding. And I found the perfect place. My
Yeah.
coworker got married at this place, and she said it was amazing. So I looked it up. I was like, okay, I trust her judgment most of the time. I looked it up, and compared to other venues I had previously looked at that were, like, starting at $5,000 and barely include anything, this place was the fucking best. So I did the math. Roughly, before adding on food, we'd probably only be spending around $980 for both a ceremony and a reception at this location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
so this
bad.
place is cool. It basically, you know how places will have, this is wedding package 1 and this is wedding package 2. This place
Yeah.
doesn't do it like that. They have all these different options, and you basically pick and choose what you want instead of being like, this package has this one has this. This is whatever you want it to be. You get to choose the room you get to be in. You get to choose. Oh my god, this place is amazing. So I'm so sorry. I am so fucking excited that like I created this little booklet, like this little presentation almost.
It's exciting.
But I gotta get to the prices. I did all the math down. I was so bored today at work because it was really slow. I'm just like started planning all of this. So this place is, again, compared to all the other stuff that I've seen, extremely cheap.
If you do it there, you can play 18 holes like before your wedding.
You can't play golf before my wedding.
It's a country club.
But so what I found, there's this, it's called the Victoria Room, holds up to from 20 to 70 guests.
Oh.
So the room with all the table settings and everything already all good to go is $350. And you can have your ceremony there as well, and that's $400.
Dude.
That is so cheap. That is $700.
Mhm.
So obviously, yes. And then you get this following stuff. Like, I highlighted everything. The following list of things you get free, like standard with the package. Well, not package, but standard with the options you're choosing. Is event expert to assist you on making all of your necessary arrangements. Bridal host to be at your service from the moment you arrive to the very end. Ivory or white table linen and colored napkins. First class service staff and gorgeous settings for photographs, which means we have a cool golf course. Come look at it, please. And then this is stuff that you can add extra if you want, but like we're not putting it in a package to make you get it if you don't, kind of thing. So you get the arch. You know when you like go to a nice outdoor wedding or just like a nice beautiful wedding, you have that beautiful archway above them, you know, signifying their love. That is only an additional $85. And then you can get an aisle runner. So I asked my coworker, I said, what is that? And she goes, oh, like kind of like a red carpet on the and Hollywood. You just roll it down and you walk right down it. Only an additional $65. You can get so many other things like extra fancy chairs, white glove service, which my coworker said
is service.
Jacob.
Sorry.
But she said that's basically just them doing literally nothing different than they would do in the regular version, but with white gloves on. You can get customized ice carvings, but that sounds insanely expensive. Like, I shared the link with you guys. I shared all the stuff I'm looking at you now.
I looked at the Victoria Room. It looked pretty fucking cool.
It is beautiful, and it's got a bar. That's another thing we're thinking about. If we should do a cash bar, which means people just pay for each drink they buy, or if we're just gonna pay for a set amount of something and then do that. But then I think you have to like pay for a bartender to be there, like an extra like several $100s. I don't know. I have to look at it again. But I sent you all the information. We made a wedding planning Discord group. So I'll leave all my updates in there so then we can talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm just so fucking excited. So I asked them if they wanted to be my homies of honor.
Yeah.
But Michael said it's not fair that I have two and he only gets one. So Jacob is the flower girl.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a loop around.
Flower boy, but
I'm sorry. But I'm so excited. I sent the link and then Boda was like, "Ooh, fancy!" It's fancy. A very beautiful area. It's the cheapest thing we've seen so far, and all the reviews I've seen are just amazing. So, I'm really excited.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So-
excited for you.
Next,
Me too.
the
I
next,
won't lie though.
yeah.
I really gotta proof.
All right. Well, go do your thing. Want to say bye now?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody. I gotta poop really bad. I'm sorry, but I'll see you guys next week. It's your sexy big man
Go shit.
signing out.
Dude, you about took one out of my page. About said sexy motherfucking lover, dude. Blah 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 blah. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Go
Anyways,
get to work.
yeah. Okay, go
So-
to work. You shit ass.
His name is Poop Ass in my phone.
Poop ass.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
Him
God.
cutting me off like
you just,
that.
You just missed him twerk.
I'm not surprised. I'm sorry. Him cutting me off like that really threw me off my train of thought. But yeah, it's very beautiful, and I'm so excited. So we gotta like get the details down. They have a semi buffet, what they call.
Ooh.
And it's just like, it's amazing. It's really cheap. It's only about, for one of the options, is only about like $33 a person. So I did the math again, and it would be, the entire event will be roughly around, let's say like $2,400. And again, I looked at venues and other places that were trying to charge like $5,000 and include barely anything. So it's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just very excited for this whole thing. And you guys are gonna be there every step of the way.
Yep. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like the best at wedding planning, so I'm
You're
sorry.
just here for emotional support.
Yeah.
Mike-
or decisions.
Mike was all like, "Oh man, you're planning the entire thing. I'll have nothing to do." And I said, "Nope, you're taking care of all the legal stuff, like all of like the name change stuff and the filing for the certificate and everything. Like that's all you." So he gets all the hard stuff. I get all the fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
But that was this episode's wedding update. So thank you guys for that. Next episode, I know exactly what my wedding update is going to be, and I'm very excited. So
And,
that was it from me. What are we going to do next, Jacob?
dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'm just gonna keep on hanging on, keep on watching One Piece, and I know we're about to go play some GTA.
That's what I was trying to get into.
Yeah, so guys, as always, it's your friendly neighborhood mother lover signing off, and don't forget, Miss fucking host,
Did you say Miss fucking host?
Miss fucking host. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I was going to do there. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to cut like so much. Of
I know.
this.
It's probably going to be like a fairly short episode.
But okay, as always, it's your friendly neighborhood mother lover signing off, and I'll send it back to 1/3 of the Hanging High podcast for our social links. Woo!
Follow us on our YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I mean, we even have a Reddit account where I sometimes go when I remember we have a Reddit account and promote our episodes in those Reddit threads.
We have a Reddit account.
We do. I use.
Oh my god!
I
that's
signed
crazy.
up for it just to like promote our episodes in self-promotes threads and forums. But I always forget about it because I don't have it bookmarked. And I didn't put it in our like list of like usernames and passwords for sites we have accounts on. But I don't know. I'm very excited about everything. Follow us on the internet. I decided right now there is so much content we have to cut out in the final versions of the podcast and the video. So I decided I'm gonna like do stuff with that content, and I'm just gonna like make every scene we clipped out of this podcast and like upload that like the next day or two after the podcast comes out.
Yes.
And to see how much
Yes.
awkward silence and just absolute buffoonery we get to behind the scenes. So hanging high behind the scenes, episode, blank or whatever.
and actually, it's really funny. We can actually use some of the BTS that we did for the last podcast too. So that's actually a good content idea.
So, thank you.
but we can. I think Boodle still like. I know he's been gathering a lot of clips. I think we could have enough for a GTA video soon.
I have so much content. I just don't know. I'm just like sifting through it now, deciding whether like what I thought was funny in the moment, if it still holds up, or if it's just like that was just a really stupid thing to find funny in the moment.
And see what's really cool, like whenever some of the stuff that happens like in our GTA sessions, like it's really cool that all three of us are able to have like different perspectives of like what's going on. So like we might be traveling next to some to each other, like remember the motorcycle clip, like whenever that shit just came out of nowhere. And I have your perspective, I have my perspective, and then Boodle didn't have a perspective because he's lame. Anyways, no, he didn't have a perspective of that, so that's kind of a bummer.
I do love some of that stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
So, but I think we should have enough for that. So
Definitely.
We could probably make maybe a.
We can make a group version, and then I'll make my own version.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you for supporting us thus far. We promise it's only gonna get better. And I cannot wait until we can make the Hanging High podcast Hannah's wedding version in real life.
Dude, the Hanging High podcast go to Hannah's wedding. That's what that's what the episode title is going to be.
Hanging High wedding time.
We're going to have to remember that. I think that should be like our thing. Honestly,
just
like every time we have like a special like meetup or something like that, we should name it like, oh, the Hanging High podcast goes.
Yay.
Oh shit! Damn! I just about knocked over a glass. Anyways,
did you see the Hanging High podcast? They've gone woke. There's a rainbow on their Twitter profile.
Dude, that would be hilarious. If that happened, I would be like, you know what? It's a free country, and we can express ourselves how we want to. So,
get rights, motherfucker.
Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. But don't forget, youtube.com/Hannah Barbary. Watch my Washington, D.C. vlog. I get engaged to be married. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, it's Hanging High.